We are a network of more than 350 partner organizations, businesses, nonprofits, educational institutions, faith communities, and government entities. And our partner organizations represent a wide diversity of people and interests. And what we have in common is our mission to promote an ecologically, socially, and economically healthy city and county. It costs nothing to join the coalition. We don't charge a membership fee, but every time we have a quarterly gathering, there are costs involved. And so today's gathering is made possible thanks to the generosity of two of our partner organizations, Northwest Realty Consultants, which is our food sponsor, and Willamette Nutrition Source, which is our facility sponsor. So I see Gary Rogers from Northwest Realty Consultants in the back. Gary, you want to raise your hand? Thank you so much for sponsoring today's event. And is Therese Waterhouse here? Okay, she's with Nutrition, Willamette Nutrition Source. So I also want to thank and acknowledge First Alternative Co-op staff for preparing and serving today's food and the volunteers who helped set up today's event. Thank you. We'd also like to recognize our engaged partners, and these are individuals and partner organizations that have made a donation of $250 or more to the coalition's general fund or our endowment fund during the past year. We rely very heavily on the generosity of our engaged partners. These are community members who believe that the work we're doing matters, that we're helping in a significant way to make our community more livable and more resilient. Many of our engaged partners donate in monthly installments, making it possible to be an engaged partner for as little as $21 a month. Their generous annual contributions to our general fund help us pay for our basic operating expenses and to support the many projects of our 12 action teams. And those who have donated toward our endowment fund are dedicated to the long-term health and viability of the Sustainability Coalition. And we are very grateful for the support of all of our engaged partners. Thank you. We also want to thank our monthly donors. Monthly donations are especially important to us because they provide the coalition with a reliable funding stream. Monthly donations currently range from $5 a month to $165 a month, and all of these gifts contribute to the creation of a sustainable community. Please consider what a sustainable community means to you, a community that values environmental quality, social equity, and economic vitality. We hope that if you're not already a monthly donor, you'll consider becoming one. And there are donation forms on the back table, as well as at the table to the side that's being staffed by K. Renee Koss. And so feel free to stop over there. Okay. Another way you can contribute is through our bottle drop program. All you have to do is collect your aluminum cans and glass bottles, place them in a pre-labeled blue bag, and drop it off at the Corvallis bottle drop location on 9th Street. And our administrator, Bree Walters, who is at the back waving a blue bag, will have blue bags at the door. So please pick one up on your way out. So however you choose to support the coalition, just know that your gifts are very much appreciated. Thank you. Today is our 42nd quarterly gathering, and here's what we'll be doing together during the next hour and a half. First, we'll have a land acknowledgement, then some brief introductions, a little time for networking, and then the bulk of our time will be hearing presentations from 3 of our partner organizations and 1 of our action teams. Living more sustainably means envisioning the world that we would like to see and taking action toward that vision in the present. But living more sustainably also requires us to think holistically and long-term, not just looking forward to the future, but recognizing on whose ancestral lands we reside. And so we'd like to acknowledge and honor that we reside in Champinafu, the ancestral land of the Ampinafu Kalapuya people who have stewarded this land throughout hundreds of generations. Today, Kalapuya people are members of the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde and Confederated Tribes of Select Indians Community of Oregon. Colonization has shaped the reality of all of us in this room. So we take this opportunity to acknowledge both the people whose lands were taken and the actions of many of our ancestors who prevented Indigenous people from carrying out the sustainable practices of their culture. We'd like to express our desire to be part of the much needed process of learning about our land ancestry and repairing relationships with Kalapuya people, Champinafu land, and Champinafu waters. Beyond merely acknowledging this need, it's important that we demonstrate reciprocity, giving back. The coalition has been one of multiple partners to collaborate with the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, helping to produce the annual Champinafu series, which provides a forum for Kalapuya people to tell the stories of their culture. The 2024 series, which I believe is our 8th year, was launched last Wednesday evening with a live program at the Prax called Shatipi Boom Boom, which means singing and drums, and it was an amazing evening. The next program in this series will be on November 6th, and it will be a webinar showing how the cultivation of camas impacted Kalapuya culture over the past 3,500 years. Another way that we're showing reciprocity is by planting native plant species such as camas throughout Corvallis. And these are plants that are culturally relevant to the Kalapuya people. So we want to start the networking part of our program with some introductions. So let's see who is here today. First of all, how many of you are attending a quarterly gathering for the first time? All right, we got some newcomers here. So glad you're here. Thanks for being here. How many of you serve on a coalition action team or a committee? All right, got a lot of volunteers here as well. How many of you represent one of the coalition's partner organizations? All right, great. So we're going to take a moment to find out which organizations are represented here today. So if you are the official representative of your organization, please stand and remain standing. Please tell us the organization you represent, and please speak up so everyone can hear you, and I will start. I'm going to use a nice loud voice so even Judy back there can hear me. I represent the League of Women Voters of Corvallis.
Jeanette Burgess, I represent Maxtivity.
Sharon David, I'm representing Brother Stalling.
Cassie Cruz, I represent Grace Center for Adult Day Services.
I'm in South Africa, but I'm also on the League Board with Annette Males. I'm also a president from ISN, and I'm also on the Limpan Park as secretary.
Thank you, Susan.
My name is Ted Kambukas. I'm a board of directors member for Corvallis Housing First. And a quick update for everybody.
Actually, Ted, we're going to have announcements at the end. So that's the time. But right now, just introducing yourself is all we need. Great. Thank you. Larry?
I'm Larry Weymouth with 350 Corvallis.
Gary Rogers, Northwest Realty Consultants.
Brian Lee, Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Corvallis Climate Action Team and Interfaith Climate Justice Committee.
Patricia Parcells, the Sunrise Corner Community Garden.
Dan Blanchard, I'm the curator of the Oregon State University Campus Arboretum.
Hi, I'm Valerie Skelton. I'm here representing Ansel Cafe.
Well, from Corvallis Oddfellows. Dave Eckert, Mary's Peak Alliance and the Mary's Peak Group of the Sierra Club.
Alita Hass-Holcomb with the Corvallis Daytime Drop-In Center.
Sharon Thornberry, Philomath Community Services.
Dave Alba, Progressive Democrats of America.
Kathy Baser, Corvallis Public Schools.
Anna Castley, Growing Peace.
Bailey Payne, Benton County.
Suzanne Ortiz, Mid-Willamette Bird Alliance, formerly the Audubon Society of Corvallis.
Sandy Riverman, Crossroads International.
Is that everyone? No. Donna.
Donna Tarasawa, First Alternative Co-op.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you all so much for representing your organizations and keeping your members updated on what the coalition is doing. So, since one of the coalition's primary reasons for being is to foster more communication and collaboration, we're going to encourage more communication right now, right here, as part of this gathering. So, we're going to take a few minutes to talk to each other. So, feel free to get up and move around or stay right where you are and turn to those next to you, in front of you, in back of you. But please take this time to talk to someone you have never met before.
Yep.
And so we challenge you to talk to at least one person you don't already know. So I hate to break this up, but I'm going to ask you to return to your seats now. And as you're making your way back to your seats, some of you are making your way back to your seats. I do that sometimes. I didn't think of it today. So, as you are making your way back to your seats, I would like to encourage you. I'm going to start calling names because I know a lot of the people in here. I know, that's what Louise and Ed said. I forgot my bell. We would like to invite you to join us in doing your part to address the climate crisis by making your home and your workplace as energy efficient as possible. Our Shift Together campaign is designed to educate, connect, and support all community members with the resources and funding for both our homes and our workplaces. There are some really amazing state and federal incentives and rebates that can help us fund the retrofits that we need to make, whether for heating and cooling, for appliances, or the installation of solar panels. Our Shift Together team offers home energy assessments, and we also offer help for workplaces through our Saving Green program. So we're excited to hold your hand, walk you through the process, finding out what your specific energy efficiency needs are, and then guiding you toward the funding that can help you meet those needs. Please let us know if you would like to help with energy efficiency and renewables for your home, your workplace, or both. So Bree is in the back, but I think she's going to come up here with a couple of clipboards that we'll pass around. And if you think you would like a little bit of help, because sometimes it's a little, confusing or complicated to access the available funding. So please feel free to sign in, and workplace can mean a business, a nonprofit, a school, or a faith community. So now I'd like to introduce Donna Tarasawa from First Alternative, who has a special presentation to make.
So I'll hold it. So we recently did the Fall Fest food booth, and we served grilled cheese sandwiches to 562 people. And it was a slamming weekend, and we do that on behalf of the coalition. And so our profits from that booth go to the coalition. So I have a check today to give Annette for $1,200. That's more than we've ever had to give to the coalition. So it's very exciting. And then I brought in our bread bag. These are the tips that people gave us. About $140 in there as well. So go coalition.
Donna, thank you. And, First Alternative since day one has been one of our most active and engaged partner organizations. And we really appreciate all that you do. And you personally have been doing this food booth for us for a long time. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right.
The grilled cheese sandwiches are really good.
Yeah, the grilled cheese. Thank you, Larry, for that endorsement. The grilled cheese sandwiches were very good. So and now we are moving into the presentation part of our program. Our first presenter is Louise Annette Burgess, who represents one of our newer partner organizations, Maxtivity Creative Space. Please welcome Louise Annette to the podium.
Well, I think that'd be great. Thank you, Annette. Actually, what if I just hold it like, yeah, there we go. All right. Ready for my break into song here. No. So I wanted to talk a little bit about our sustainability in action over at Maxtivity. I'm very proud of the work we've done in the last few years. We're a very young organization, so if you've never heard of us, raise your hand. That will change tonight. Excellent. Okay, so we are an arts and crafts creative space located on the corner of 16th and Main in downtown Philomath. So just a quick, short bike ride or bus ride away. And she told me how to advance these slides. This button? Yes, great. Okay, so there were a lot of hands up who have never heard of Maxtivity. So those of you that didn't raise your hands, what do you know about Maxtivity? Yes, Cassie.
Space making place.
We are. We're a creative space making place. I love that. Any other ideas what we might be? Yes.
Upcycling.
We definitely upcycle. Excellent. Excellent. Any other ideas? Okay. What would you love to learn about Maxtivity tonight? What would you love to hear? I'm going to ask you first and then I'll talk. Yes. Everything. Awesome, Susan. Thank you. Lynn?
What kind of activities do you do?
Okay. What kind of activities do you do? Any other questions that you definitely want me to cover? Yes.
Engagement.
Excellent. Youth engagement. Okay. I will try and remember all of those things. All right.
Hours.
And what are our hours? I love it. Okay. The mission of Maxtivity, which is a 501c3, the reason there are 2 dates up here is because it takes a while to get your 501c3. So while the business was started in 2018 with the goal of becoming a nonprofit, it didn't get its certification until 2019. So you can look at that date however you would like to look at it. Our mission is to provide an inclusive access to creative opportunities through an organized and well-equipped arts and crafts community space. We provide educational outreach, programs, and community projects, and focus on underserved groups and communities so that all youth and adults can engage in creative discoveries in Benton County and outlying communities. That is the mission, and we try to meet that every day. When I started 3 years ago, we were just operating basically in Corvallis and Philomath, and now we've this past year operated in 5 counties. No, there it goes. Okay, cool. So yes, Mr. Upcycle. We definitely do a lot of upcycling at Maxtivity. We make art from the unexpected. We also have a full STEAM program, STEAM being science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And so here's some of our engagements out in the community and in our space. This community weaving project that we did in downtown Philomath was made out of a, can you see? Bed frame, and then scraps of fabric that were donated as well. So both of those things were donated and we did a community weaving project. The upper left corner, these are the trophies that were created out of reused materials for our latest Maker Mayhem, which was the first year we've had a Maker Mayhem, but we intend that to be our fundraiser every year. And it was a competition, kind of like Chopped, if you know that show, or Top Chef, that sort of thing. And so teams were competing to create with reused, upcycled materials, different things, and then they got chopped if they didn't, meet the judges' criteria. So, and then there was a winner. So the winner got that giant, you can't tell how large that is in that picture, but it's probably almost 3 feet tall. And then the runner-up got the little one. So it was kind of funny. We also, this particular artist, I don't know if it's here, but this is a really awesome piece because it was made out of a cabinet door, pieces of a jeans, coins. So I think the entire thing is reused. And there's, I think, like shotgun shells, I don't know, cowboy boots, just all sorts of really cool things. And this particular vehicle is our kinetic sculpture vehicle that we race all over the West Coast now and also parade. It takes 5 people to move that vehicle, and we redo the art for every race. So that particular artwork I wanted to show you is made out of recycled cardboard and painted by over 90 hands in our community. And then here's some kids, somebody's doing sewing. We've got a lot of manipulatives and kind of what's that called? Like Play-Doh, but that's not the right word.
Female.
Not even female. Moon Sand, it is the brand name, but it has a name as well. Social sustainability for community and education. We do artists in residence programs. So like I said, we've sent artists in residence in 5 counties this year, doing school projects, whether that's paper murals, where each child makes one piece and then it all gets put together. This is obviously Mary's Peak. And then another type where we do clay, and then everybody gets to take home a piece, or we put them all together into a community display. Like last year we did trees. They all made community trees, and then they put the trees together as a community display. One of the things I'm really proud of implementing this year is the bulk bins. Because we get so many donated items, we have a section where crafters or anybody from the community can come in and purchase from our bulk bins where we have excess. So if you like buttons or paper or like really random objects, please come see our bulk bins. And from those bulk bins and also from our secret stash, we give free resources to educators. So educators can come to Maxtivity and purchase out of these bulk bins. And then we've also been this fall delivering supplies directly to the schools. Economic sustainability in our building and operations. We're building for the future. We use natural lighting in our office and main studio areas. Our insulation, I took a picture of it for you, exceeds standards. We've been a Pacific Power Blue Sky program participant since we started. And to reduce operation costs, we reduce, reuse, recycle, and use energy efficiency, such as using rags, and we wash all of our aprons. Right now, those aprons and rags go home with our staff and volunteers, but we would love to save for a washer and dryer, and then also a capital campaign. So the math is across the bottom, that the savings here, 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 and here will help us save for this. Community participation and donations. What can I do? Please think of us when you're about to throw away something that's really awesome that could be reused by an artist or for a STEAM class. Things that we love to take. Good quality used items, any STEAM tools, art supplies, industry waste. So what I mean by that is we get a lot of corks from the local wineries. We get bottle caps. We have more corks and bottle caps than we could all use. So please come and get some. The other really unique an industry waste that we've reused is there's a quilting manufacturer who makes acrylic cutouts, and we get the pieces that they don't need. Specific items that we always need because we go through them like they're water: glue sticks, white office paper, envelopes, and used canvases. So if you have a painting that you're no longer enjoying, please consider donating it so that somebody else can paint over it. Always, as a nonprofit, small local nonprofit, we always take cash donations, and we're always looking for great volunteers. We have an Art for All program where you can choose to opt in to just pay $4 per month, and that helps supply art for everyone. Or just a one-time donation is also helpful. Here's a nice QR code, make it easy for you. And then we are also looking for new supplies for clay, brushes, paint and ink, and volunteers to volunteer time. Here are some of our future goals. We're building a light industrial arts table in the back of the studio. So we're looking right now for hand tools. So if you have screwdrivers, that sort of thing, pliers, though, that's the type of thing that we're looking for, not power tools. We want a shed to store some of our portable tables and our kinetic sculpture accessories so we're not tripping over them in the studio space. We want to install a washer and dryer, again, for those rags and aprons so that they don't just have to go home with volunteers and staff. And then eventually, probably next year, we'll be doing a capital campaign to buy our current location. Here's our success metrics from January through September of this year. We had 3,703 pounds, and we know because we weighed every single pound of those that we saved from the landfill, and that is a $16,788 value for our art and STEAM programs. Thanks. So our call to action is join us. You could either donate money, time, or STEAM supplies, or volunteer. And that's super helpful. Thank you for helping us make a difference in our communities. And we're grateful for our community partners and engaging in our sustainable initiatives. To answer your questions, was that everything, Susan? Hopefully.
One more.
Oh.
People with disabilities, do they?
Yes. Actually, on Wednesdays, we have a special time in the morning where we have a teacher that teaches a group of people from North Star.
Oh, nice.
And somebody asked hours. Currently, we're open to the public Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays as open studio. So look on our website for those hours. And if you're a participant, you can also come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yes.
You said you'd like to get envelopes. Do you mean brand new boxes of envelopes, or should we start collecting our return envelopes that we get in the mail that we hate to recycle? Or windowed or anything like that? What could you?
Yeah, we can use all of those things, I would say. We can't use it if it's marked, it goes to State Farm or whatever. That's less useful.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just speak it.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much, Louise Annette. That was really great. Appreciate it. All right, our next presenter is Sharon David, who represents one of the coalition's new business partners, Brothers Hauling. Sharon's going to tell us a little about her family's business and what they're doing to help create a sustainable community environmentally, socially, and economically. Please give Sharon a warm welcome. And this is Meredith, yes?
And Meredith. Meredith's actually much more important than I. I'm just related to the owner, so. You're one of our family.
Yes. Okay.
So I am Sharon David, Jan's sister. She's the owner of Brothers Hauling. She cannot be here today because she's in Georgia. Her son is in the Army, and he's graduating from boot camp. Yes, he is. So we're going to represent today and talk about our company.
I'm Meredith Merton. I've worked with Brothers Hauling since I was a senior in high school, which actually hasn't been that many years. But I've been with it and been able to see the progress and the growth, and it's been so cool to see this business develop into what it's become now. And just to be able to see the way that it impacts the community and all of the people that come into our sustainability store, which we'll talk about later. So I'm really grateful to be a part of it.
We are too. And then just a little bit about Jan. So she started the Brothers Hauling in 2020. She's the mom to 3 boys, hence the brothers. During COVID, they came up with the idea. They had a truck and trailer, so they made a Facebook page and got to work. Jan was teaching full-time when she started the business, but it kept growing, so she left the Corvallis School District in 2021 to run this business full-time. She's got me. They noticed that even when they were in this big mess cleaning up, they were actually throwing away a lot of valuable items. They did a personal job for a customer that also happened to be a property manager. And while they were doing that, they signed some paperwork to get set up as a vendor for them. And pretty soon the word started spreading and property managers were all over this. They show up on some sites with usually over 50 totes to do their sorting. So when they're on site, they're sorting items to save, items to donate, and items to go to our sustainability store. So obviously the biggest goal is keeping everything out of the landfill. They say we try not to go to the landfill, but sometimes they obviously have to. Next. Okay. So it started in her garage. She was literally doing garage sales on her personal property and decided the best way to do this was just to offer things to people for what they could afford. So she would just ask people to pay what they could. And the idea is just to keep everything out of the landfill, repurposed to someone who could use them. And her husband was getting tired of things in the garage. And then year 2, she had a friend that had a barn out Peoria Road. I don't know if anybody ever made it out to the Brothers Hauling barn. And this was just to test out the business model in a larger space. They were busy at this point hauling items Monday through Friday, and they wanted to see if enough people would show up on just one day. We made that Saturdays to clear it all out so we could start filling it up for another week. And then year 3, we were able to open up our first commercial store. We still kept everything, make an offer, pay what you can. The idea is just to keep it moving because it's constantly coming in. So that was our little store behind Rice's Pharmacy. I'm just curious, who's ever went to the Brothers Hauling barn?
Second to my apartment.
Who made it to our store behind Rice's Pharmacy, the first one? Okay, interesting. Okay. And so we are currently in our 4th year of business, and now we are in almost 4,000 square feet located to the right of Rice's Pharmacy. Yes. And I knew it would happen, but honestly, when you walk in, you're like, we fill it. So every time we've moved, we're able to fill that store. So there's plenty of stuff to come get. Okay, so we are members of the Corvallis Chamber of Commerce. The business, the business won Sustainability Business of the Year in 2021. Yes, those are the brothers and a daughter-in-law. We are a local family-owned business. Jan graduated from OSU in 1995 with her master's in education. Her husband, Eric, graduated in engineering. They have the 3 boys. They also now have 2 daughters-in-law, and their first grandbaby's on the way. The boys have, for the most part, moved on to other full-time jobs and the military, and so it's run by a majority all-girl crew now, which does confuse people when they show up and there's Brothers Hauling. They are strong girls. Our company focuses on property cleanouts, people who are downsizing. We work with families that want to remove items removed from their homes to get it on the market. We also have an estate sales team. It's based on honesty and integrity so that we can provide this service to the community. And they can be reached anytime if you need an estate sale estimate.
Go to circle, that's where they go.
Right? And we currently work with 32 apartment complexes in Corvallis and Albany, Philomath and Eugene. She works with 5 senior living facilities, 3 nonprofit state county agencies, 12 major real estate groups, 4 storage unit facilities, and 5 other estate sale companies. Yes.
Very busy.
They stay very busy. Yes. Okay, so we're going to open it up for questions and we'll try to answer between the two of us. If you want to learn more about the store and our contact info, you can scan that QR code. You want to grab the first hand that went up in the back there? Yeah.
How long does it take to, let's just say, process a space like the one that you had in that first picture of a pile to go from
Mhm.
pile to on the shelf? I'm guessing some washing has to happen and.
Well, what you're asking and what I can answer is this is why we're only open 1 day a week. So some people ask us almost every Saturday, you guys should be open all, more days. You don't want to walk into the store on a Tuesday because we are unloading all the boxes. We have fabulous stagers and organizers that come in. There are little ferries. So you can literally walk in the store on a Tuesday and it's just boxes. You can't walk around. When you come in on Saturday, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But hours, many, many, many hours are put into organizing that store. Yeah, I don't know if you could estimate how many hours. Yeah,
It is all week. It's
all week.
Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I know you're open Saturday. What are your hours? And there's no chance you're gonna expand them.
At this point, Saturdays, 9 to 1. I run the store with one of my friends. Jan tries to be there occasionally, but we like to give her some time away.
Yeah.
So just Saturdays, but it just works. There's a thrill of the hunt. There's people that line up. So we typically have a line starting at our door anywhere between 7 and 7:30 in the morning. And on busy days, it wraps Rice's Pharmacy easily, like 3-4 people deep. So I'd say the busiest day I tried to count, I got to about 120 people at 9 o'clock. And yeah, but that's how many people we need to come in and get these items moved. And people really do have fun. And it's fun to come up and have a little barter session with me.
I was gonna ask, is everything priced? I mean, do you have price tags on everything?
So nothing in our store is priced. We tell people that are new, if you see price tags, ignore the price tags. It came from an estate sale cleanup or somewhere. Ignore that. We just ask people to make reasonable offers. We are in a larger space. She does have people she pays and, has to pay the lease. That's a big lease right by Rice's. So we're just asking for that kind of support. So we ask people to make reasonable offers. Yeah.
So the items that you don't end up moving, what do you do with that?
Mhm.
You have other nonprofit partners, do they go there?
They do. Yeah. So she works closely with,
Like furniture share?
she does work with Furniture Share. They come out sometimes.
Or art or?
I'm brain dead from my actual job.
Fair. So,
Yeah, please.
so we do work with all of those places, but some of the items that, like you said, that we don't move, it's harder for us typically to have the space for all the clothing we come across. So originally we were taking those to like Goodwill or other places we could donate, but those Goodwill isn't actually a nonprofit. So now we've been trying to take them to like clothing donation boxes and places that we actually know they'll get where they need to go and find good homes, and it'll be a nonprofit. Yeah.
Yes, they do find homes.
I will add, and you might want to watch our social media. One of the other ways we clear things out when we're bursting at the seams, we have a dollar sale. That might be coming up soon. Yes.
I want to volunteer.
You are always welcome, Miss Susan. Yes.
Your list of clients there, that seem to be mostly commercial clients. Do you also service individual residences with garages and all and
Absolutely.
pricing structure?
You know that?
Yeah, so we typically price things, especially for residential individuals and homes. We do it based on our truck and trailer size. So we do $50 per cubic yard, which equates to $500 for a very full truck and trailer. But we also understand people's different circumstances, and we just try to offer them a very affordable price and something that works best for them in their situation. And I mean, we hear all the time like, oh my gosh, that's all you're charging us for what you just picked up. And it's super cool to just be able to do these people a service and help them out how we can.
Do you deal with large appliances like washers and dryers?
Yes, yeah. And that's part of her connections too. She's networked so well that if we do pick up appliances or things that she can't resell, she has someone that likes to come get those and fix them and work on them. So nothing, yeah, again. Or there, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
The Waste Prevention Action Team will be publishing our newest reuse directory right here. And I just want to acknowledge that Brothers Hauling is our newest sponsor.
Yay. I didn't know that. Any other questions?
Do I move in?
You're so sweet. Yes.
So this is a great business model. How do other thrift stores feel? I mean, how do they fit into the picture?
I think it's just a different business model. So, I think other thrift stores still do great. I mean, thrifting, if you think about it, it's just kind of become a modern way of these kids that come in, they love to thrift. So we're just one of those places they like to go. But I think our business model's just different because of the hauling side of it. So if you go to these other thrift stores, it's great. People take their donations there and you can go thrift for those items. But, the main business here is actually her hauling business. Yeah,
The whole family does.
the whole family. Anything else? Thank you guys all for your support. And one last thing, I'm going to plug my cookies. I bake cookies for the store on Saturdays. So, that's another reason to come out there.
Thank you both so much. Really appreciate the work you're doing. All right. People often think about sustainability only in environmental terms, and although protecting and restoring our life support system, our water, soil, and air is absolutely critical to sustainability, the social and economic aspects are also essential. Our next presenter is Cassie Cruz, who represents the Grace Center for Adult Day Services. The social aspect of sustainability is about meeting people's basic needs. And as you'll hear, the Grace Center is especially focused on this part of creating a sustainable community. Please welcome Cassie to the podium.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. As I get started, or before I get started, if you would help me by pulling at your cell phones and taking a QR code quick survey, it helps me see where people are at and understanding what Grace Service is, long-term care, and how to refine these presentations for the future. So I'll just give you about a minute. Yeah. All right, and I'll go ahead and start and while the rest of you are finishing that survey. But again, hi, I'm Cassie Cruz. I'm with Gray Center for Adult Day Services. And today I will be talking about how the new approach to long-term care relates to sustainability. I will first start with our backstory. About 42 years ago, a group came together and took a survey to recognize that the need for adult day services was overwhelming. So that is when the 501c3 was created, and so started Gray Center. A year later, we opened our doors with just offering half-day services 2 to 3 days a week in a single room at Gray Lutheran's Church, And in 2006, we moved into North Corvallis, where we're currently relocated, offering full day services Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. And then just about 2 years ago, we were nationally recognized for the National Adult Day Services Association. We received the Center of Distinction Award, which is a really big deal. Yes. And then just last year, we secured our location with the Here to Stay campaign. So our participants do not have to learn new norms as far as navigating new pathways. They can stay in the home that they've grown to love for the past few years. So the purpose of adult day services, that quality of life that we offer to the individuals, it means that they can stay in their home setting longer. Caregivers, they have a peace of mind while enjoying much needed respite. They know that their loved one, whether they're dealing with post-rehabilitation care or dementia or even Alzheimer's disease, they know their loved one is in a secured facility receiving specialized activities and adaptive exercises that help maintain, improve cognitive functions. And that social component, we know that loneliness is associated with a greater risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, and even up to premature death. It is like smoking 15 cigarettes a day and is even worse than being inactive. The social component for our participants at Gray Center, we offer countless opportunities for socialization by offering a variety of therapeutic activities like art and creates a creativity outlet that promotes brain elasticity. We offer music, which benefits the benefit of the brain health, which is extremely important for individuals who are dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And of course, we invite our furry friends in. Animals are such a soothing part of life. They offer familiarity, they're inviting, and they can bring back so many fond memories. And of course, we have outings out in the community where our participants have engaged into pottery, going to different parks, and many other things in our communities. And we also offer weekly wellness groups that are led by a licensed professional counselor. This benefit to our caregivers, it is needed for them to be the people they want to be when they're not caregiving. It allows them to continue their jobs. It allows them to take their family members out on trips that may be unsafe or not appropriate for their family member. It also allows them to be able to stay connected with their friends and other families that may not be living in their home. And of course, we at Gray Center offer support groups that are so needed. We offer the support groups on the first and third Tuesday of each month. That is from 3 p.m. to 4:15 p.m. During that time period, caregivers can come in, whether they're a part of the Gray Center, if they're family members, a participant or not. And we offer free respite care for those individuals who may be attending the class for their loved ones. And we offer individualized counseling sessions and periodically have caregiver events like educational events and even some appreciation days. And so we look at that environmental component. We know that gardens and care environments have a positive effect on the stress levels, on self-esteem, depression, and aggression. And gardening benefits the cognitive function of our participants. The raised garden beds that you see there make it so much easier for people to actually plant seeds, to garden, to pick fruit that then we serve at our tables. So it's an amazing opportunity for us to go from seed to table for our participants. And with our center, we're helping remove kind of those sun deserts with all of our trees that we have planted as well. In 2021, we were actually, to help out with that, to remove our, our footprint, our carbon footprint, we have worked to put solar panels on top of Gray Center. We worked with the Energy Trust and the Oregon Department of Energy to make that happen. Thank you. And when we look at the economic component, we know that premature placement is detrimental to people when they aren't financially able to pay for out-of-pocket services until they become Medicaid ready. It is crucial for people to be transferred into memory care facilities when it's the right time. Otherwise, reality is most of those placements don't last. We need sustainable long-term care. Adult day services save the state money by decreasing the number of state-assisted individuals that may need I can't say the word again. Institutionalization. There we go. Institutionalization. Thank you, Louise. I do need this. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really do have a problem with a dry mouth when I talk too long. Thank you so much, Susan. I appreciate you. And those with dementia need care, need that type of care, like memory care facility, only that last year of their life versus 5 years. The last stage is the best for a memory care facility, as the person is a bit more comfortable and more at peace. The second stage is the hardest, as people aren't sure where they are at. So it is helpful to be able to see the numbers there of what the cost is. When you look at the in-home care, it is about $28 an hour, but are they receiving all the necessary activities that would help with cognitive function or even give the family member respite that they absolutely need? And when we look at kind of the residential services, it is almost as twice as much comparatively to those adult day services. And that $15.63, that is if someone was enrolled for the full entire month. But I guess we all can agree that long-term care is extremely important, and it's really to be mindful is what we need to be when we think about our family members. So are we feeling motivated? You can always join our mailing list to learn more about what's going on at the center and having some great tips and tricks for your own sense of self in your own home. You can become a volunteer at Grace Center and you'll be able to impact the lives of people in our community. You can attend our annual fundraising event. We have one coming up on November 13th, our B3, I like to call it, Bingo Burgers and Brews. Yes, it should be fun. And of course, you can always become a donor, which we greatly appreciate. So the last part here is if you would go ahead and take your phones again. It's almost that same exact survey, except for I want your feedback because it's so vital. I know we only had 10 minutes. However, I think whatever you guys have to give back for me can help me refine this presentation if I ever have 10 minutes again. And then while the rest of you all are doing the survey, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take those. Yes, Susan.
Volunteer.
I will give you the information. I'll give you my card. Or if you want to take that information down, you can't, I will give you my card.
What down the block from you guys?
That's even better. Yes.
What's your address?
All right, just why would you ask me that when I'm standing without my business cards? Or,
0 Northwest Spruce.
oh yes, 980 Northwest Spruce.
Go
And this is why I have the person in the audience.
down the business street, it goes to way down.
Yes.
Osborne Aquatic.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other, yes, sorry, Bree.
Volunteer opportunities are there?
Yeah, so we offer different opportunities. You can come in, we have opportunities where you can be like an Alzheimer's buddy, coming to meet an individual, spend time with them. We have other opportunities where like our bingo burgers and brews, we could have people coming in and helping us with that, which is also awesome. But I would always say right now, the best thing to do is either call our office, talk to our office coordinator, and they would be able to get you set up with a perfect opportunity. And of course, if you have a skill or a talent that you like to share, whether is an art, music making, we would love for you to come in and share your skills and your talents and abilities. Yes, Annette.
What's the age range of people that you take in as clients?
So adults, anywhere from 18 until as long as humans can continue to go.
Use people with disabilities.
So if we talk about post-rehabilitative care, yes, we do. If you're talking about, if I think about back a few years ago when we had more like developmental disabilities, we don't serve individual developmental disabilities like we had in the past, but post-rehabilitation care, yes.
Hey,
Yes.
do you have transportation partners to bring people to the center?
Yeah, so we can utilize Medicaid, can utilize BAT, so Bend Area Transit. We also have we have our own bus that we've utilized of help with individuals as well, but we also have families who bring themselves. We also can utilize Ride Line too. Oh, excuse me, I guess BAT would be private pay and then Ride Lines with Medicaid. Yes.
Waiting list?
There is not right now, no. Which is wonderful. And I think that is it. I have my person standing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cassie, and we're gonna give you your water back here.
That's all of it.
Cassie, you want to take your
all my
water?
things, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
Miss
that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Not a problem. All right. Our final presenter is Kathy Chambliss, who is member of the Coalition's Food Action Team. And Kathy is going to tell us about that team's many active projects. Please give Kathy a warm welcome.
Whoops.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Let's talk about food. So the Food Action Team's vision is that all of us are fed by food that is locally produced using practices that build soil and the land and the community. In 2024, the Food Action Team encouraged new gardeners and promoted gardening practices through, let's see, 5 different initiatives, and there probably are more. So the Corvallis Public Seed Library, which is here at the library, Cooks and Books, Neighborhood Planter Kiosks, also called NPK, the Edible Garden Tour, and the Garden Resource Guide, and more. The Corvallis Public Seed Library opened in March of 2023, and the motto is sharing sustenance, together we can grow more, offering seeds and resources such as the Garden Resource Guide, lectures, pop-up plant clinics here at the library. How many of you have visited the seed library? How many of you have gone to a lecture there or pop-up? Awesome. I encourage everyone to go. And all of these initiatives are the result of partnerships in the community. And we had 7 companies and organizations plus countless individuals help us with the commercial seed packets. If you want to donate seeds, they have to be commercial seed packets. 18 volunteers sorted the packets and stacked the seed rack. There were 5 free educational lectures and 6 pop-up plant clinics. One of them was this one with Jennifer Clammer from Giving Gardens. And in 2023, the Giving Garden, which is over at the Lutheran Church on Walnut Street, they gave away 2,000 pounds of food. I think they're still tallying up this year's numbers. So what a gift to our community. And there are resources on the public seed library page. And that is actually, that can be found at the Benton County Master Gardener's website. There's more to come this year, Thursday, December 12th, Darren Morgan on summer. Sorry, it's hard to see that angle. Summer planted crops for winter eating. And then the public seed library series will continue from January through April. So come back, see what we're doing. The impact in the past year was that nearly 300 community members attended the lectures and pop-up clinics, and innumerable seeds went out to the community and hopefully were planted and grown. Cooks and Books, this is the 3rd year for this initiative. And how many of you have been to a Cooks and Books event? I strongly encourage you to join. There's one coming up next week. Yeah. And Cooks and Books, pairing cookbooks available at the library with the talents of local chefs. We've been able to highlight Brazilian, Salvadoran, Mexican, Korean, and American cuisine with food and herbs direct from local farms. And an added benefit has been getting to know the chefs in our community and their stories, their family stories, and what led them to land in our town of Corvallis. So in January of this year, Rami Stryker did a bilingual presentation. In April, Haley Kimchi came and everyone made kimchi. It was really fun. In June, Lorraine Anderson did an outdoor cooking showcase with solar ovens, and I bought a solar oven for the first time this year, and I used it to cook all sorts of things, and I recommend them. Really easy. And then upcoming next week, we'll have Nasser of Kalo Nasser, Syrian food. And then in January, Emily from Time Garden will be presenting, and that's in collaboration with the Seed Library. So expect to see some herb seeds in the library in January. There's Rami, Haley Kimchi, Lorraine, and wonderful cookbooks provided by the library. 120 people heard life stories from local chefs and shared delicious food together. It's really fun. Yes.
Is this held?
C3. C3, Community Center. Somebody help me. Corvallis Community Center. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Who has seen one of these? Who has used one of these? Oh. We recommend you use them because They are chock full of seasonal gardening information for you and community events. The information is updated each week. And the info is brought to you by the Food Action Team, or the Benton County Master Gardener Association, or the Corvallis Evening Garden Club, or the Civic Beautification and Urban Forestry Group. So each week, somebody writes a post and they go out to 28 kiosks, with more to come, I think. And if you're behind on the post, you can catch up at npkpost.blogspot.com. And we might be stuck. I'm clicking. Oh, did you see that? 28 kiosks. And we're talking about maybe getting a map up so people can look at the map to find the kiosk in your neighborhood. So stay tuned for that. All right, now all sorts of things happened here. We also sponsor the Edible Garden Tour, and this was featured in Northeast Corvallis this year. It was a new neighborhood, and these are some of the photos from the event that was held in August. This year we had artists at some of the gardens to complement the work of the gardeners. It's really lovely. Kathleen, where are you? I don't see her. Okay, so anyway, this was this year's Edible Garden Tour, and we had 5 gardens open, including the Waldorf School, 3 artists, a poet, a painter, a ceramist, and like I mentioned earlier, a new neighborhood that hasn't hosted before. If you'd like to be on a future tour, look out for when we send out a request for people to share their gardens. So start thinking about your garden now for next year. And something just happened. There you go. All right. So if you'd like to learn more, please reach out to us here or visit us on the web. And thank you. All right. I'm new to the Food Action Team, so I'll probably need some help answering your questions. But anyway, anyone have any questions? Whoa, good. Oh, Lynn.
Offer canning sessions.
Have we offered canning? Annette, have we ever done that?
I don't believe we ever have, but our No Food Left Behind program, is Jeanette still here? Our No Food Left Behind program did a workshop on food preservation. Do you want to say a little bit more about that, Jeanette?
The master food preservers through OSU Extension came here to this room, actually, and we hosted them doing a canning workshop. And I believe, okay, Renee, do you remember, did we put that on, was that a Facebook Live? We could probably dig that up and make that available. And there's a lot to glean from that. Sorry for the pun. Yeah, so you can see that, and that would help at least a little bit.
Extension.
Thank you.
Also does offer periodic workshops in food.
Yeah, I don't know if the preservers are still happening right now. Does anyone know?
Yeah.
They are?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Awesome.
So what is,
Yeah.
I want to say, because the canning came up, one of the things I hear often, I'm an executive director at PCS, but I also work a lot across community food systems. But here locally, since I've come back a year ago, I've heard from people who say, I live in a space so small, I don't have room to can. And when I was working for Oregon Food Bank and I was working in urban areas, we were going into senior living facilities and also into apartments. And there wasn't room to put a canner on top of a stove. We used to have in this area canning kitchens, the cooperative canning kitchens, and it's something we really need. People need a place to be able to go have shared equipment. It's also expensive to get started in canning and some kinds of food preservation. So both canning and drying would be something that if we could provide it at a community level, would be where people could go to a shared kitchen. It would be extremely useful and we could teach a lot of people their skills that way, but it also offer them an opportunity to come in, have somebody there that knows what they're doing to help them, but they could preserve more food and we could use, I mean, everywhere you turn, there are canning jars for somebody's getting rid of canning jars. So we aren't going to be lacking for that resource
Yeah, thank you.
out there.
Yeah, thank you. Good idea. Yeah.
Do you provide people with disabilities to learn how to cook on their own?
The only cooking classes that we actually share are the cook in books events.
How long is that?
Maybe an hour, hour and a half. Come on October 24th.
That's my godmother.
Yeah, there you go. It'd be good to see you.
Me too.
Anyone else?
I located that video, so I'll repost it to our Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you so much. In the time that that remains, we're just gonna have a few announcements and give our partner organizations an opportunity to make announcements as well. As Kathy said, our next event we have coming up for the coalition is a week from tomorrow at 5 o'clock at the Corvallis Community Center. And that will be Calo Nasser, if you haven't, or excuse me, Nasser Wanley of Calo Nasser. If you haven't been to that restaurant, it's definitely worth going to. It's really delicious Syrian food. So that's Cooks and Books. And then our water action team, I don't know, those of you who probably may already know this, November and December are the best times of the year to plant, especially native plants. And that's what our water action team does, is plant native species in wetlands and along creeks. So there are going to be several planting parties next month. And David, you want to raise your hand? Dave Eckert is the leader of our water action team in the back. Yes, and my husband. And if you would like to participate, those planting parties are really a lot of fun. And as you can see in this picture, we oftentimes get a lot of OSU students out there doing the planting. So it's a really fun community event. So I think those are the only things that we have coming up for the coalition event-wise, and I'm wondering if there are other. Ted, you earlier wanted to make an announcement for the Corvallis Housing First, so.
Anyway, the Third Street Commons, it was gonna be built out there where the budget is right now. Demolition is set to be starting in about a few weeks, and then the groundbreaking will be in January 2025. And we're in the process of recycling or rehoming as much stuff from the current set of buildings as possible. And if anyone would like to talk about getting some set items from the site, you can contact Andrea Myrie, the executive director. I have copies of this here on the back on the counter there, and okay, great. Anyway, that gives her phone number and whatnot. If anybody wants to volunteer in the future, you can get a hold of Lindsay Stollard. She's the development coordinator, and her email is on that piece of paper also.
Great, thank you so much. Yeah. So Susan, you want to make an announcement?
Yes, I am the president of the ISN in Graduate Service Network. This coming Thursday from 1 to 3, we have an open house. Everybody is welcome to come.
And where is that?
Monmouth.
In Monmouth. Okay, great. Other organizations have events coming up or presentations? Am I missing something? Yes.
First of all, is there a place to get this information? Because I'll be happy to share it with students, and I can put it on the digital media across all of campus as well, if you want student help. If anybody wants to take an Arboretum tour, since fall color is amazing, you can go on the Campus Arboretum website and request a tour. I'd be happy to give you one as well.
All right, so we just Google OSU
Campus Arboretum.
Campus Arboretum.
Main page, it says request a tour, and you fill out the Google Doc, it comes to me, and then I'll set up a time with you.
Wonderful. Okay. David, did you hear that? Okay, because you were offering some student help, I believe, for the planting parties. Okay, great. Yes, Louise Annette.
If you like to drink coffee next Friday, if you go to any Dutch Bros in the Corvallis area and mention Maxtivity, it will throw $1 our way and we would really appreciate that. So next Friday.
All right. Thank you. Jeanette.
One of the hats I wear for the coalition is I run the Saving Green program where we help local workplaces become more energy efficient, whether that's lighting, solar, HVAC, insulation, water heaters, you name it. I have a gentleman that comes down and works with me once a month. He's coming next Thursday, and we can come to your workplace, be it a retailer or a church or a daycare. It doesn't matter if it's a workplace and it's small to medium size. We can come in and take a look for free at what you're doing as far as energy consumption, and he will give you tips on what you can do that our Energy Trust of Oregon incentivized changes, meaning if it costs you $5,000 and they can give you $1,000, that's great. Now it only costs you $4,000. Or take a zero off that. You never know. There's lots of different projects available. Hit me up. I'll be right here afterwards and we can talk and I can sign you up for next Thursday.
Thank you, Jeanette. Great. Anybody else? Yes. Mhm.
How can local small businesses get involved with the program?
How can local small businesses get involved with the Sustainability Coalition? So first of all, you become a coalition partner organization, we call it. And it costs nothing to join. You go on our website, sustainablecorvallis.org, look at the top navigation bar where it says get involved and go to the join page. And that's the first step. And your business is?
CNC Woodcutters.
CNC Woodcutters. We would love to have you join the Sustainability Coalition. Thanks for asking. All right. Anyone else? Yes, Donna.
I guess it's there's time. So we have our First Brew coffee kiosk open at the South Store. If you haven't been there yet, we're serving Pacifica coffee there. And it's breakfast things to go and coffee and drinks and smoothies. And so come and see us 6 to 2, 7 days a week.
And I think it's featured in this month's this season's co-op times as well. There's an article about it. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
To piggyback off that, Ansalog also has Pacifica coffee. And for this month, we have a special deal going on. So you may or may not know, but we're super big into reusable glass jars and containers to reduce single-use plastic waste. And so for this month, if you get a reusable glass jar and return it, we'll give you 2 stamps. And then for 10 stamps, you get $10 off. So you get $10 after only spending $5. And also in December, we're going to be partnering with Vino Moses or Vina
Moses.
Moses, sorry.
Vina Moses.
And we'll be partnering with the Giving Tree. So if you want
Yes.
to donate to families in need, you can come by and we'll have a tree where you can take a tag off and donate money or gifts. So yeah.
Great. Thank you.
That's where I work.
Oh,
1 day a week on Wednesdays.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So we want you all to stay in touch and join a coalition Google group, especially our main Google group, sustainable-corvallis at googlegroups.com. I imagine that's how a number of you found out about this meeting today. We also have an announcements group that is limited to just announcements about coalition events. But on the main group, you get to hear about things that are going on with our partner organizations as well, which is really, really good. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. This is a great way to keep up with what's happening. Check out our website. It's full of information. We hope you'll join an action team or committee if you haven't already. And we always need short-term volunteers to help out with our various events. Of course, we also welcome donations because your support really does matter. We now have 5 part-time employees and we want to keep them employed. So we need your help. There are donation forms at the back of the room, or go to our website to make an online donation. And don't forget to pick up a blue bag, and Bree will have those at the door. So on your way out. You heard from just one of our action teams today, our food action team, but we have 11 additional teams, and they're working on more than 40 different projects. So we are very grateful to all of our action teams and our committee members who give so generously of their time. And I know they would all love to have your involvement. So in closing, I just want to thank all of you for recognizing the importance of building a sustainable community and a sustainable world. We live at a time in human history when we are witness to the devastating impacts of human choices on our beautiful, precious planet. And in the Sustainability Coalition, we kind of make an assumption that people already know about a lot of the problems facing us. So we focus on action and what we can do to move in the right direction. We feel like living at this time is actually an opportunity for all of us. An opportunity to be part of a great transition, to live a lot more lightly on the planet. So thank you all for being part of this effort as we make this historic shift together. Thank you for coming to today's gathering, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thanks.